Hello, everybody. I'm hoping this live will work, so I'm waiting to pass 10 seconds and see if, okay, we passed. So the transmission is gonna go. I'm glad to see you. This week, I chose, well, apparently a contradictory subject, what women and what men want in sex. Now, some of you who are, let's say, veterans to my page, hi there. By the way, you're welcome to say hello whenever you join in. I just started, so you haven't missed much. So we're talking about what women and what men want in sex. And before I get into what I want to tell you today, I want to encourage you to look in the video section after the live is over and seek two videos that I did last year. And last year I did a video, what women want in sex. Hi, Julian. Go figure, my cameraman is watching my live. So as I was saying, last year I did two videos. One was what men want in sex, and the other video was what women wanted in sex. And what I also did, because both of them are long, what I also did, I put under the video description, I put timestamps. And basically with the timestamps, what you do is you see the contents. And what you will see, I chose 5 elements that in my subjective opinion were important to women. And those were, and I want to read them out because it's been a long time since I did the video. The first one was nurturing and protection. And the first one for men was actually trust. If I recall correctly, yes, trust. So the foundations for men and women are actually different. And then I went on. For women, it was cherishing, then ravishing, two opposite things, obviously. Then it was obviously transformative and deep connecting sex. And the 5th element for women was fun, light, joyful, playful sex. Now, in the case of men, after trust, so the foundations being different, after trust, we had variety and diversity, a nerdy partner. That was the funniest thing for me to realize. But yes, they do want a nerdy partner in sex. And the 4th thing, and I stuck only to 4 elements in the case of men, it was a confident partner. And there were some tricks there when it came to nerdy partners, and then there was another trick when it came to confident partners. Now, I won't get into those details because I do want you to check those videos out, and I think I can put some links for you in the description. Because today I want to look at, so that's the first one, and then the second one. Because I want to look today at what I believe is when these two needs and wants meet. So you have a woman and a man meeting in sexuality, whether it's for a one-night stand, whether it's for, a short-term relationship, whether it's for long-term relationships, and we're talking years, and whether it's for somebody who wants to marry that person, and that's it. That's the only person that they'll ever meet. So the things that I see that are extremely important, and this is where we fail, in my opinion, as a sex coach and as studying this on my own, for my own, then meeting other people, then having the chance to also ask trainers and coaches and a lot of people developing in this field. So the place where I see us failing, it's not that our needs are different. I believe that, yes, needs are different, wants are different, but I believe that the first place where we go so bad in relationships is that when we ask for something, we, number one, don't allow for enough time for the other person to really fulfill that. So whenever we ask for something from our partner, it may be something that they're not used to doing. It may just be. And we expect, like if we asked, we expect that that person deliver instantly, like now, this second, like you should have done it yesterday sometimes. Okay, that's the number one place where we get it bad. We don't allow our partners time to understand and to embody whatever it is that they need to embody in order to really do or be what we ask them to do, respectively be. This can take, for every person, this can take a long or short time. It's different. It's the same thing as telling somebody that they need to change or transform, or they choose for themselves that they want to change and transform. But it takes, the process to transformation, to them being different, it can take months, it can take years sometimes, depending on their objective. And it's the same thing when they need to be different, better, more, I don't know, skilled, more present. That's a tough one for most of us out there. So it's a different thing when they do it because it's important to you, and they need their time to be able to do that. So this is number one place where I see us failing. It's not that our needs are different, it's that we don't allow our partners, man or woman, doesn't matter, masculine or feminine, born in a male body or in a female body, doesn't matter what they identify with. We don't allow the other person time to actually be what it is that we need them to be. And we believe that, like, we ask them something this second, we want them to be crazy. I'm just giving an example out there. And we expect them to be crazy like this instant. So if they are not what we ask them to be in that moment, and it takes 2 weeks, and like 2 weeks go by and they're not that crazy person that we want, we instinctually or automatically think that, oh, but they don't respect my wish, they don't care about me. It's not always the case. Sometimes it's just that they don't know inside themselves how to be, in this case, what I asked you, crazy. Or in case of many women, they want their men partners to be more dominating, to ravish them, to really control everything in those moments. And maybe those partners are not yet ready to take the control that the women want them to take. And the process for them to get in the internal state where they can take that control exactly as their women want them to, it may take a long time. It may take months, it may take years, it may take the entire relationship sometimes. And these women, they think that when they ask their men, they think that, oh, but they don't care, they're just not good. And what they send out, like they sent a request, and instead of having faith and allowing the time for these men to turn into whatever they want, they start to reproach, criticize, show discontent, show dissatisfaction. And what do those poor guys, I'm taking this example for now, what do those poor guys do? They're demoralized. They don't have the drive and the energy in the relationship to turn into whatever it is that those women, their partners, basically ask them to be. So number one mistake, we ask something of our partners, and then we don't allow the time for the other person to turn into whatever it is that we're asking for them. And the number two, because these are quite simple, it's two things that we do wrong, basically, or we mess up sexuality. The second one, let's say that a man asked his woman partner to be more the femme fatale, the archetype, and turn into this incredibly seductive and incredibly enticing and juicy woman next to them. And, well, she hears that request and she takes her time. Let's say that this man gave her the time to turn into this femme fatale. And when she feels ready to take out that personality from her, to express it, to manifest it in the interaction, it may look in the way that she understands a femme fatale. And that way may not necessarily be the way that her partner thought of. And what happens, although she is embodying and manifesting and portraying and living out the femme fatale archetype or way of being, so she's honoring her lover's request, her lover doesn't see that. Because it's not as he envisioned or not as he saw somewhere else, he overlooks it. He doesn't recognize it. It's not good enough. He can't recognize that. He can't appreciate that in a way. Although he can appreciate the efforts, the result is not what he wanted. And unfortunately, This is also where we go wrong. Why is that? Because whenever we ask somebody, I want you to be more ravishing, more charming, more seductive, more crazy, wild, insane in sex, or in your interactions with me everywhere, or I want you to be more surrendering to me. Whatever it is that we ask them to be, we have an image, and the other person may have a different image. If we don't come to have mutual ground with the person next to us, we can still be disappointed in the result. We can still feel that although our request was honored by the person next to us, it was not exactly requested as we wanted to. And the big mistake that we can do here is be disappointed, not ask for anything else, not see the effort, not really see the effort that this other person did, and start to look elsewhere, or just start to, lose the intensity in our relationship. And how do we fix that? Well, we gotta really start to understand what human personal development means and transformation means. Let's say if I were to transform into, I don't know, you tell me, a kink teacher, and I had a collaborator kink teacher in the past. Now, if I were to turn into a kink teacher, I would not look as my collaborator did. She was red-haired, super wild, super, like, she would talk fast. She had all her text. In Romanian, we say that you have your texts with you, so she would always know what to say. She was very, very sharp. She was precise. She was very dominating in a way. Now, the way I would turn as a kink teacher, I may not look like that. So the idea is that it would not automatically make me a bad kink teacher, or her, like the model, the epitome of kink teachers. It would just make us two different people, two different personalities doing the same thing. And if we were, like, the audience watching us was really open, they would appreciate both of us, our gifts, our way of portraying and embodying and being kink teachers. And it's the same thing in relationships. The man asking for the woman to be more femme fatale, had he, or if he's really open, he would really understand that the way one person portrays, embodies a femme fatale is different from what another person portrays it. That doesn't mean that you can't enjoy intimacy with the person next to you, even if they're not the wildest, or the flavors that they embody and that they send out are not different as other people. That's what makes us unique. And when we start to really shed those comparisons and shed the standards that we have imposed from past experiences, other people, external resources, and everything, we really start to see, one, the efforts that our partners in sex, whether it's a one-night stand, whether it's short-term relationship, long-term, whatever kind of relationship, we start to appreciate their efforts, and we see them, and we start to really enjoy and taste the result that they're giving us. So the way they're being, according to our requests, is their own particular kind, and we can enjoy it and we can appreciate it more intensely, much better. So it's like, it doesn't compare. So that's the key thing here. It doesn't compare with anything. It should never compare. And especially for people in long-term relationships, you may have seen this. At the beginning of the relationship, you and your partner were at a certain level in intimacy, because this is our topic here. As time progressed, and as each of you opened up and shared what it was that they wanted with the other person, and as they delivered, as they started to embody, to get more experience, if you take yourselves like 3 years down the line, you're different from where you started in terms of relaxation in sexuality, skill in terms of speed with which you can get one another and you can fulfill your needs. So it does happen. This transformation does happen. And sometimes with a lot of people, and these are the most fortunate relationships, even if they are extremely different. Again, as I started this video, our needs as women and men, they tend to be completely different. But we are also at a certain level. So we can, as a woman, even if your needs are different from a man's, you can still be as skilled, as experienced as a man is, although you want different things in sex. And it's the same thing with the man. But if you start out at different levels, so let's say that the woman is a virgin, this is a very extreme example, and the man, well, he has had 10 partners at least when he started this relationship. So when you two progress, it may turn out that some women, if they have understanding from their partners, they can start to be at the same level with their man, and then obviously turn into a better lover because you have no experience, but somebody was careful and patient with you and you learned. Well, this is the people that go into long-term relationships, they can definitely notice changes and transformations in their partner. And if they are honest, they can see the changes and transformation in themselves. And sometimes, for both men and women, these transformations, they can be in the negative way. So let's say that you started out with different needs, obviously, at different levels. And throughout the relationship, one of the two got super comfortable. One of the two felt so secure that the other person would always be there, that they stopped investing, developing themselves. And from this comfort, they just went down. They stopped. Basically, what happens when you get too comfortable, not only do you wreck the relationship because you put the pressure on the other person to do all the work, but you also stop caring for yourself in a way. You kind of do that. You kind of neglect yourself. And you can wake up one day to see that, wow, when did I become so sloppy? Obviously, we're talking about sex here, but the thing that happens in intimacy can always happen in the rest of the relationship. So in my personal opinion, when we look at the needs for men and women in sex, yes, they are different. And I hope that you will take the time to watch the 2 videos that I put out there. But it's the way we really look at fulfilling, how our needs are fulfilled, that's what makes the relationship work or it doesn't. That's what makes us grow as partners, even if we have different needs. So even if we have them. And the first mistake was not allowing the time for the other person to really be what we asked them to be. And the second mistake was not appreciating the result, comparing it with other people and other results from our past, and therefore not appreciating what is present. So if you ask me, we are not necessarily deaf to our partners, so we hear a request, but we don't really understand the process that needs to be done afterwards. So our needs and our wants, yes, they're always going to be different. Can they be met? Absolutely. How they are being met and how we, the ones who are requesting for our needs to be met, react to this and how we hold the space while our needs are being met, that's a totally different thing. And this is what I was talking about today in terms of giving the time and then really seeing the efforts and really seeing the result and taking the result as a request that was fulfilled. So let me see. Oh, I had a lot of people joining here. Hi. For some reason, the comment section did not pop up accordingly, so I missed the hellos. But I really hope that you enjoyed this. And what I also want to encourage you to is join my group, because in the following days, I will be having 3-day challenge, basically. So it'll be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, each day with, how long are we in now? 20 minutes almost. Well, we're going to stay much longer in those videos, and I will pick a very important subject for each day for our sexual development. And you can ask me questions there. I'll be a little more familiar, a little more open, because it's a group. It's what do I call it? It's a safe group for us. And I want to give you the link here. Like, if you're going to watch this video, you can also see the link where you can join this 3-day challenge and hopefully really enjoy the content. And really interact with everybody else there, because it's also, okay, so that's the link to the group. It's also a group there. It's still small. It just started out, but it's going to grow because I want to keep doing lives on my page, and then I want to share more personal, more powerful things in my own group. And by the way, it's an English-speaking group because we have a lot of foreigners there as well, and some of them are really puzzled. Why is it so quiet? They've asked questions, the foreigners, they've shared things about themselves, but some of the Romanians are a little more quiet, and I really hope that this will, as time progresses, like my request to my members, they'll get more relaxed and more willing to share and speak about subjects like the ones that I've spoken about today, and even ask questions that are super important to them, or seek support from others, or just witness other people sharing their own stories. So there are a lot of benefits to joining sexuality groups, and yeah, and one of the benefits is that you get to see 3-day challenges, or also, because this is what I want to do in the future, involve everybody in organizing our real life meetings where we can talk more about what we just talked in the past 20 minutes here. So this is it for today. I know that somebody joined just a second ago and it's almost close to the end, but I do hope that you will watch from the beginning and enjoy the subject. And I will see you either from tomorrow in the group, or in 2 weeks in the next live. And until then, I'll have a very transformational experience, but I will share that with you in a post. I'll prepare it right before I leave the city, so you guys will get to know what I'm up to. So thank you for watching, and yeah, have an orgasmic and intense and transformative intimate life, and I'll see you in the next videos. Bye.